Welcome to Empowered by Nikki, the podcast where we don't just talk about inclusion, we live it, breathe it, and build it into every conversation. I'm your host, Nikki Sanger, founder, speaker, coach, and relentless advocate for spaces where every voice matters and every story has power. And today, you're in for something truly special. We're diving into the intersection of art, storytelling, and advocacy with two extraordinary change makers. First up, we're going to have Lucia from Brave Women's Center, a visionary who's giving voice to the untold stories of women through powerful, raw, and revolutionary stage performances and therapy. She's using theater not just as entertainment, but as a tool for healing, resistance, and empowerment. And joining us as well is Al from the Voice Library, a pioneer in preserving human connection through the power of recorded voice. His platform is redefining legacy, storytelling, and how we capture and pass on wisdom across generations. And of course, we'll also shine a light on MEC Disabilities, the national nonprofit I founded to ensure that children and young adults with disabilities get the adaptive equipment, support, and inclusion they deserve. Because access isn't optional, it's essential. So whether you're driving, walking, or curled up with a cup of something cozy, this episode is your permission to slip, to dream. Right? This is your permission slip to dream louder, speak bolder, and lead from the heart. This is Empowered by Nikki. Let's dive in. Yeah, so I'm just going to give a little bit of a background on MEC Disabilities. I started it in 2021 due to my daughter having cerebral palsy, and it was very hard to get adaptive equipment. It was taking forever with insurance, and just finding out that if you pretty much just pay out of pocket, it comes a lot quicker. It's a lot cheaper just to get it reimbursed through insurance, just different things like that. So yeah, we kind of expanded. We did the first completely free sensory space in the whole U.S. in 2023, and we are on our second year now. So we are also doing resources and support for families and children with disabilities across the nation. And yeah, let's dive in. Lucia, do you want to introduce yourself and give us a little bit more about what you do?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Lucia. I work here in Denver as a psychotherapist. I'm in private practice and I'm also a creative arts therapist. My passion is helping women and girls find their way through tough stuff like anxiety, depression, and really just the pressures that women and girls can face in society. And that's why I started the Brave Women's Community Center, which is a 501c3 here in the Denver, Colorado area. We're all about creating a space where competition steps aside to make room for collaboration between women and girls. We like to help each woman who comes to us grow, explore, really discover who they are in a supportive and nurturing environment. We take pride in it being a place where you can find your strength, embrace your own flavor of what it means to you to be brave, and put your passion into action uh, by and also being surrounded by a community that is cheering you on every step of the way.
Al, do you want to kind of explain the Voice Library to everyone?
Love to. First of all, thank you. I'm blessed to be in the presence of two amazing women who have done such amazing work. And um, people realize or don't realize the challenges. I've come to know both of you so well, and just really honored to understand not only the persistence but the resilience that both of you have. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you. The Voice Library started roughly about almost 14 years ago. It's pretty interesting. It was back then when there wasn't really many cell phones. If you remember, we had those big DVD recorders, and well, you probably don't remember. I'm older than most, but it was really simple, right? Because back then you took a picture and that was it. Well, what we did is we allow families to be able to capture their family stories in a really unique place. It's a simple platform that's just voice and pictures. So it's a mobile app that's free, mobile app. You buy a subscription to the Voice Library, and You have this free mobile app that you sit down with a loved one, you put it on, and you're able to capture their story. The nice part about it, there's no video. So it's really soulful, it's more human, and you get truly a really a very empathic story when you can able to do that, because there's no acting, there's no age anxiety, there's no feelings of fear. And at the end of that, you save it in your library. It's your private library, or you can make it public if you want. And once you share that, you're able to add some pictures after, and now you have this kind of photo journal of voice and picture together that tells an amazing story. You can have as many as you want in your library, and you can share it at will. Why it's so important, more than ever before, is we're learning more and more. And I think the poet Longfellow said it best: the human voice is really the organ of the soul. It is your signature of humanity. Tone, intonation is really kind of the paint on the brush that when you speak to somebody, somebody gets that. That's their paint on the brush for their palette of their brain. To me, um, it's so powerful, and we're going away from that, right? And yet we're connecting, but not connected. We have a world of over mediarized, yet we have the highest rate of isolation, loneliness, and depression, not just amongst the young, but amongst the old. It's a really epidemic proportion. So we're all about celebrating life. We're celebrating what you do and what Lucia does, working with brave women, as well as your disability group, because we can help people not just tell their story, but to really be heard. We like to see ourselves as that healing bridge that crosses over families, from caregivers to caretakers and all the way across.
Yeah, thank you, Al. Um, so I guess we're just going to kind of get into something that we've been exploring and that we're excited to bring to the disability community. So it could be for parents, caregivers alike, and then we're going to kind of expand out from there and possibly do siblings and things like that. So the disability community, it's really hard to have a community to share and understand what you're going through. Sometimes you get a diagnosis and you're shown the door. So it's really like, from my personal experience, we do a lot of lived experience support and resource support for families. And that's a very big thing for us because we want to show that people aren't alone, and we want to give them the opportunity to get as much help as they can, especially with cutbacks and everything. Um, and like going to group homes for the first time, or getting, their first IEP or 504. We really want to just create that community, especially when it's so hard for us. Like, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, but it's very hard for us to either show the true story behind it, or I guess kind of show some parts and not others. Some people are very afraid of showing pictures or videos of themselves. And so that's why I really think the Voice Library is a very good tool for not only family members, but caregivers as well, that will help with burnout, that will help with the next steps and the next stages. And we really want to kind of show you guys what we're collaborating on. And um, yeah, I guess if you guys want to kind of jump in and like say, Lucia actually introduced me to Al, and we kind of came up with this fabulous idea that we're just going to create a library for people to go in, share their story if they want to, listen to other people's stories. It could be shared. So, family members that don't really understand the little things that people with disabilities and their families go through, they can, come in and offer support if they want to, or just listen to kind of see what other people do, and just kind of leave it like an open community.
Yeah, I think Nikki, I can speak to that. I just wanted to preface that, Nikki reached out to me, and uh, she was in the Denver, Colorado area visiting schools, so that she could help schools be able to have access to um, resources for kids with disabilities. And she graciously came to my office. We started talking. I have a brother who has an autistic son who's 18 no, I'm sorry, he's 21 now. He's 21 and he's nonverbal. And so this was just this was a personal passion of mine, and it was really great to share some stories with her. And as we were talking, I thought it would be a really great thing to have a resource for parents to be able to come on and really use their voices and tell their stories of their shared life experience of what it's like to be raising a child with a disability in this society and what they've experienced. Um, on all levels, what they experience in the medical realm, what they experience just in their own emotions, and being able to share with one another and create that strong, nurturing community so that we're not so isolated. I think it's important to find our people. And so I asked Nikki if she'd be interested in maybe setting up an audio library where parents could come and be able to share their voices and talk about their experiences. I love facilitating storytelling. That's what I do with a lot of my clients, as well as the women who come into the nonprofit. I'm always helping them to be able to facilitate their story so that they can gain healing from telling it, but also help another person by telling it as well. And that's always the goal, is that they get to receive that impact of helping someone else and connecting to others. And so I decided I wanted to start an audio library called Stories of Resilience for all women. And I wanted MEC Disabilities to be part of that so that parents could have a community in which to share and nurture each other and learn from each other.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I guess if you could also share like feedback that you've gotten for people that have already started using it with you, and why it has helped so many people in your community that you know already.
Yeah, I have had so I've been putting out ads on Facebook lately to get folks to be able to contribute to um, the Stories of Resilience library. And I've been speaking to actually a lot of women who have been in abusive relationships. And I thought I would get maybe 2 or 3 people reaching out to me. I don't know how many, a drove of people reaching out to me. I'm backed up with interviews. And I've been doing all these interviews personally. And while that sounds like that's a lot of work, it's actually not to me. I love doing these interviews, and the feedback that I get afterwards is that it's just such a relief to have someone just be able to facilitate and listen and to ask those important questions and to really respect and appreciate their voices. These aren't people that are coming to me who, are some of them are entrepreneurs, but a lot of them are just basic, everyday people with lives, and but they have something so important to share. And I think afterwards they are all just so thankful to be able to help another person. So that's the feedback that I receive most, is that thank you so much for helping me be able to, if it's one person, right, one person that gets changed or gets a nugget of information that they needed or feels some hope, then it's worth it.
Lucia, if I could jump in for a minute, and
Yeah.
Nikki, I want to share with you really the power of what Lucia has done here. This resilience library, and which we hope to do with your group also, because it's so powerful, is de-identified. So it would be Al, age 68. It would be Masha, age 31. It would be Stephanie, age 16. So it's de-identified. The
Right.
key to it is that you would be more likely, if you're 16 and suffering from something that's really troubling, or a physical disability, whatever, it's much easier to connect with Mary 16 than it is Al 68. So one of the really innovative features that Lucia has done, it's not so much about the people, it's about the story. And I really celebrate that in what she's done, because It makes people connect to the person closest to their age that would understand what they're going through. So no one's preaching, and there is that, young lady or young man who would like to hear from grandma or grandpa, and vice versa, very important. But those words, sage advice, those words of kindness, and people know this is the wonderful part about the Voice Library, which I love most, is it's real. It's not so when you're recording, the din of life in the background is going on. And that's what we want to do, right? We want to celebrate life. We want to celebrate the real part of life. So if a train is going by in the background or a dog's barking or whatever, it is what it is, and that's the purity of it. And the nice part is some of those people that Lucia is working with, they express themselves not verbally, but sometimes in images. So you'll see artwork that they've done, some poetry. They do it in poetry. They do their own artwork and they add the pictures to the story. You don't have to, but it does add to it if they want to. It really makes it a lot more powerful. So she gives people not only a specific way to be part of it, but also to use all their talents, be it voice, be it imagery, be it poetry, be it artwork, to have them express themselves. And I think that's really what makes her different, really different than most.
Thank you, Al.
Yeah,
I
I
always
really
bring the
think that
creative arts in.
yeah, I really enjoyed when she brought it up to me, and she was like, "I think that this could be like really great for the families and the parents." And I was like, "Oh, that could be a great idea. Like some of these people just need like somebody else to tell them, or like if they don't know, you know,
and
someone
I
else that's
think
going
I
through the
think
same thing."
I think Nikki, also a very important part that we're missing or not been brought up yet is, we've done a lot of work with the Suicide Prevention Task Force military in the past. And one of the most amazing things for us is we've learned it's more important to tell your story than it is to listen. That's really the healing process, right? And what do we hear all the time from people? Really, what we hear is no one cares about me and no one cares about my story. And I used to fight that and say, nah, but you know what? A lot of it's true and it's hurtful. But I think we have to address it as really true. When you can sit down with somebody and give the greatest gift that you have is time, and you can sit with somebody and just spend that time and ask some questions. And, Lucia, we have an activity guide that starts everybody out with the questions. It's not, we get you going with the first 4 or 5 and the rest take off. But, I find it all the time. No one wants to talk until you ask the right question. And then an hour later, your phone is, is out of battery and you're in trouble because you didn't save it. But what I'm saying is you just got to ask the right question, and people are really hopeful and want to have that connection again. I kind of think about it as going back to the future, where people matter, more or less.
Yeah, Alan, I think too, there's something about um, being able to have someone facilitate or tell your story too, I think is really important to people. And that's something that I want to offer here in the beginning too, is that um, I would love to be, um, that witness to anyone's story that wants to contribute in the start of building this library. I Again, I love doing that. I love um, being in conversation with people in these interviews, and um, just being able to ask those questions that are really going to help that person to be able to move move that story forward and out of them. And for anybody who thinks their voice doesn't matter, it's just so far from the truth. We need to connect with others who understand and support us. Um, it can make all the difference. And maybe it starts out with me facilitating the stories, but then once there's a group of people, other people can start facilitating those stories for other people, and it becomes this community that based in that storytelling. Yeah.
Nikki, it's kind of like we say why would you do this? You do it for or with the one you love. If you create an activity and you sit down with grandma and you say, "Grandma, I'm coming over to see you," or it's really kind of this big Venn diagram. It's your grandchildren do it for your grandparents, or your grandparents do it for your grandchildren, right? It's this connection in the middle that gets these generations. That's what I was talking about, that generational bridge, that healing bridge. You do it for or with the one you love. And when you sit down and you do this, and like I say, we give you some questions to get you going. It's absolutely amazing. And I'll share the two basic questions, for one for how to get guys to talk, because they never talk. But the one is, tell me about your first car, right? And that from any age, because that's freedom, right? For men, they'll they'll light up and they'll start telling you that the engine, the speed, and then the next question is, what was on the radio? So now you go from the car to the radio, and what was your girlfriend's name? The car, the radio, the girlfriend, they all go together, right? So before you know it, it's phenomenal. For women, this is the best and the most fun. It's the first question is, where was the place your mother told you go not to go, and did you go? And that really lights up everybody. And they just kind of sit back and smile, and you just get a little bit out of it, and on and on and on. And it's hilarious. So there are some really basic places to start. And all you need is that person to start it with you, right? To be heard. And that they sage advice. And we had this amazing story. We have a project called the Military Family Story Project. We provide our service free for any military family. And what it was, this woman her husband was in Afghanistan, and at night, they read Goodnight Moon. Her children read Goodnight Moon to their father, and their father would listen at the other end at any time he needed to. And she sent us a letter and said, what's so amazing is that my children will hear my daughter's daughter will hear her read Goodnight Moon to her father. It was so powerful, so powerful. So we're in a very fortunate place to be able to collaborate together and really bring some joy and celebrate life, because that's what we're doing. We're all really want people to celebrate this life that they're living. So it's so important.
Yeah. Yep. And also, I just want to reiterate what I said about bringing women together to collaborate versus compete, is that I just feel that this is so important, and it's an important part of this project, I think, as well, is to bring women together to really lift each other and rise together. I think we could do some amazing things if that were to happen. So, yeah, part of my offering is to bring collaboration through MEC Disabilities and through parents of children with disabilities who are amazingly resilient.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly think that it's like such a impactful thing already, like, networking and just like getting those connections. Because when you are, doing it for somebody that you love or care about, or you're doing it for like the right reasons, there's never any competition behind it. And I think that's like when people are hearing their stories and they're like, oh, that's, something that I can do, or that's something that I can help somebody else with. It's never like a competitive like thought in their head. It's always like, how can I like bring this to the next step, or to the next person. And yeah, that's why I think it was like, obviously like a blessing in disguise, like meeting Lucia and like just messaging her and just saying, hey, I'm coming to Denver. Like, do you have any availability? I'd love to know more about what you do. But yeah, it's always like such a great opportunity to hear, like the different sides of why people do what they do, and why they are resilient, and why they keep pushing forward and moving past barriers that are presented to them.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to get started.
Right?
Me too.
Yeah.
We are all really kind of blessed, and it's amazing how Lucia has facilitated this meeting, and it can only grow from here. And if we can bring joy and we can bring understanding to people, then we've done our job. So I'm really looking forward to working with you, Nikki. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Thank
as
you.
well. Yeah, thank you guys so much, and thank you for bringing this opportunity to parents and families and caregivers. I think that's going to be an amazing thing that we have going here. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess you guys have anything else to add before we go?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. I think Al kind of already said this, but I know there's always going to be challenges and roadblocks, and i- being a human being. But I truly believe that, like, when people come together, the journey for us is it's not only easier, it just feels more fulfilling. So yeah, I want this project to band people together and help them find quicker solutions and gain strength from each other. Oh,
And and I think sometimes we forget there is a power in one. Sometimes we do this work and you get exhausted and am I making a difference? You are, right? That's the thing, is that there is a power in one, but when one helps two and two helps three, it's even better. But it's not giving up, and it's realizing that for those people who are challenged with disabilities, like especially the physical disabilities, or they may not look like they like the way they look, or anything else. This platform allows them to just have a voice, and they don't have to be on video. They don't have to be on anything, and that's the real power of it. And as time comes on, everyone finds their own place, and that's what Lucia and the Voice Library, working together, have done, and that's what we're hopeful to do with you, Nikki, with your group.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be so amazing for these families. Yeah, so we will update you guys as soon as it's live and ready and good to go. You can visit MEC Disabilities at mecdisabilities.org. And MEC stands for Motivate, Elevate, and Celebrate, because that's what we want to do for everyone, and leave no ability behind. So, Lucia, do you want to give a way for people to see what you do? Like a website or Facebook page?
I'm sorry,
Well,
I
thank
didn't
you.
hear.
Thank you.
You're good. Al, do you want to share the website for the Voice Library?
Yeah, the Voice Library is thevoicelibrary.net. Please visit us, and reach out to us. We'd love to help you. Any organization. We're a pretty simple platform, but easy to use, and my contact's there, so you can reach us at any time.
Yeah, and my website is bravewomenscommunity.com. And if you go to the tab for Stories of Resilience, you can see how to sign up there and just maybe even get a taste of the stories that are already in the library.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And we will, I guess, keep you guys updated on when everything's going to be going live. And thank you for tuning in.